All right, we're gonna try this. This is a little bit different, but I think it'll be faster and easier for me. So we're gonna do this in different batches, just so that I can set it over my phone. Quickly going into game one, we're just gonna fast forward to 231. These are screenshots are going to be of your map. So you guys landed in Kingdom. You took off from this side of the map and nobody hot dropped. So you know Frontier is empty, right? The other team, I believe you guys kind of knew, they kept going over to Observatory, this sort of area, maybe dropping in Plains, but I'm pretty sure you guys saw them right in this area. So you guys loot up in Kingdom. You got lots of time, easy, easy, straightforward. Here's the first closure, and you guys are all right here in zone, knowing there's no team again behind you in Frontier. It's very unlikely that the team that went across the Metropolis did something weird and came all the way to Frontier. That'd be like unheard of for somebody to rotate that far over. They'd almost always come into Plains here, which is actually what happens, but we don't know that yet. So you guys are here. You know the team is here. This team doesn't have to get forced out into Plains, knowing that you kind of are in a weird spot. You can just kick back here and shoot at them and kind of wait for the next map closure. I think there's no real point in giving up this ground and going after them. You're kind of, just because they're not being forced out. If this was backwards and this line was right here and they had to come out, now we're talking about getting in front of them or owning this corner and pushing them more towards the center of the map again, because this would be all the way over here open. And teams over here. So you'd want to just like push them that way so you could hold your ground here, but we don't know that's going to happen. So that's the first thing. We're going to fast forward. You guys decide you're going to come out and attack this team. You want your team here to be positioning here, and your team actually floats around, which is pretty much the theme of this first game. Is they don't really listen to you, and they admitted they didn't listen to you. You know they didn't listen to you, and so the team just kind of got really spread out. But let's jump ahead, and we don't need to watch this whole thing. We're gonna follow you guys over to here.
Sniper for a piece.
And then this is where you look at your map one more time. Now, right in here, I don't know if you can hear it on the phone. When you come out here,
coming up,
I'm almost positive I hear people shooting behind you right here. Back into the right. You actually turn and it's in front of you. There's people in Plains right there shooting. Back into your left here. You can hear them shooting. So you know they're down in Plains. That kind of changes the scenario here. Because if we go back again to the map, 231, if we go back to the map again, you guys are here and you hear teams fighting here. So you're actually in between possible teams here.
Sorry, Frank.
no, that's okay.
Excuse me. Sorry.
Here somewhere.
No, out here, right here, on that wall, right at the end of it.
Oh, shit.
Sorry.
So you guys are actually right here fighting a team over here, and you hear people fighting here. You walked in between two teams. So actually, this is not a great spot anymore because you're actually in between. Plus, there's a low spot here, and there's kind of a hill here when they come over, and so it's really hard to see what's going on, and it's hard. You'll find out when you guys get on top of this roof. All of a sudden, these people come over the edge, and then they're just firing on you. You can't really see them coming. They don't shoot from far away because they can't see you yet and give you, oh, shoot, here they come. They're just they catch you off guard. So let's move on to 422. 421 right here. You decide to get up here. I don't hate this, but again, there's people in Plains, and you're ignoring that fact by moving more into a center position here. I don't hate the idea that you put builds up here. However, the idea is correct. I would not do what you did right here. What I would do is I would put one or two builds here, maybe two, and then double stack the builds. So I'd step back and put another two builds here. The reason I don't like the full build action here is because now you can't see what's going on your right-hand side. So you just need an area of protection, but you don't want to close off your ability to see what's going on over here. If there's another team over here and they start coming over, you want to be able to take some pop shots at them, right? So I would put either one build here and then another build so that it's like this, caddy corner, so that you actually have a double protection. And then that way you can primarily stand at the top, but you could also back up and then look off to your right and make sure you can see what's going on over here. You don't want to always box yourself in. You want to put up some builds, a couple here, maybe even one behind you just to kind of protect you. But you also want to be able to look out and see what's going on without having to climb and peek and do all that kind of stuff. You want to really be aware of all of your surroundings.
To protect us from the side.
Right here, you notice, I think it's Quill over here. Whoever's over here is on their own. You got people all along the left here. They didn't listen to you. They acknowledged that afterwards. But here again, you're kind of in between, and you would know that if you had noticed that people were shooting in planes. And honestly, I probably would have backed up and like gone and looked at them to confirm, like, hey, there's guys in planes. So this particular spot right here, when you notice they didn't listen to you and they rotated over here, you kind of have two options as the leader of the group. You need to either remind them like, hey, you guys need to back up. We're spread out. Let's back up, guys. Let's back up. Let's reconvene over here. Just let them be. Let's get together and then we'll fight from over here. Or you go, you know what? They've already taken up position over here. It's not the worst. I know you explained to them that you're going to be up against the wall on that side, and it's most likely going to rotate away from you. But you have a good high position here on this is a better fight. They're up high. They're shooting these guys here. You can honestly even kind of spread out and kind of horseshoe this, but you probably need to just realize that they're not listening to you. It's more of an important move to stay with your team. I probably would have just rotated over with them and like, fine, you guys are choosing this route. Let's go ahead, and it's not a terrible idea. We can fight, but we need to be together. So that's probably what I would have done there. Again, this is all hindsight. It's very easy to critique this. Also, you found out, but you really got to pay attention to your bullets. You don't have a lot of bullets, and you only have 6 builds, and you just put 6 builds out. So you had a total of 12, and you dropped 6. 6 builds is not a lot. It's time for you to loot. You didn't loot heavy enough on that drop, especially in Kingdom. You should be looking way better than this, and this is not good, and this is going to come back to bite you. You honestly can't even be in this fight right now. You should be looting, because you're going to find yourself in the exact position that you did, where you don't have builds, you don't have loot, and you're out of luck. So you don't want to catch yourself with your pants down. In fact, I don't even remember how many backpacks you have, but I feel like you didn't have a full loadout. I might be wrong, but I'm not sure. So that's what's going on here. They don't move over. Let's go on over to the 501. It was when you notice that the next map has
far away.
Okay, so here's your team over here, kind of spread out. Egg comes back. That's great, but you guys are not spread out. I would have just probably rotated over here and try to push them towards Sandbox. And you don't know that there's not a team here. You assume there's a team here and kind of sandwich them this way, but the teams are actually right here. In fact, I think all 3 of them are right here, and so you're in between these 2 teams. So I might have rotated over, looted up in here, and just kind of join this fight and take up this corner. The only thing you don't want to see it do is the white square to go over towards Cemetery. Then you're in a fight. You're just gonna have to shoot your way in. But if it goes down the hill diagonally back or back this way, you guys can simply just rotate down and then rotate over. You can rotate back. So not the worst position over here, especially if he has the high ground, but it is bad when you're this, you're super far apart from each other and just kind of discombobulated. This team's going to make it up, and he's going to pinch. I think they get Egg caught off guard. Those teams from Plains rotate up because I believe the next zone change.
Who's that? Number 2, Chaos. If you can pull. If you can pull this.
I don't remember where you looked at your map again, but that's what happens. So let's go to 649. This is when you, let's look here. Yeah, I think you only have 3. Yeah, so here, perfect. You're missing 2 backpacks. You got 2 mid-long range weapons. You're gonna drop it for the DT. But you're underlooted. You're focusing too much on telling the team where to go and what to do, that you're not actually being a productive fighter in the group. This is just, you can't have this. You have to fill these up. You got to get stuff. That's just can't happen. Yeah. So you're going to swap it out here for the,
Three of
I'm
them,
going to
man.
just close this so I can talk. You're going to swap it out. This is good. I guess you're harming here, but really the priority is getting these guys up or getting your butt out of there, because this other team, they're telling you they're coming and you have no bullets. I mean, this is a good move, I guess, switching to at least to have the DT, you know, here. Chaos should have been building. He shouldn't have been in this alleyway. I mean, this is just a death trap. There's nowhere to go. He should have been on the other side, peeking something, doing something else. And then you go in for the kill here. It's fine. You got to work on your shots. And then right here is the next mistake you make. You actually still have 6 builds and you run out in the open trying to get this 50 pod. You should be building right here. You know the team's coming from the right, and almost it should be instinctual that you, when you go to, you're almost always hurt. You're actually not that hurt at all. I don't know how you didn't get any damage really. But it's almost should be instinctual to put up a couple builds so that as you wait for that stuff to come out, you have protection. Because typically in fights, you know, you're at best just have health and no shield. It's typically how close quadrant fights happen unless you just swarm somebody. But you're vulnerable. You're usually about half health. Sometimes you're even more than half health gone. So a couple of builds here would have saved you. Boom, boom. He's already on you anyways. And then you make a mistake here. You grab onto this like you're going to peek. The DT, not the greatest peeking gun, and the reason is that you have to reload with your other hand. So unless you're going to kill this person outright with 2 shots, which isn't possible if they're full health, 96 and 96, you really shouldn't be peeking this. This is a low item. You should just be tucking behind it, coming out, shooting twice, tucking in, reloading, coming out, and it's the DT. We're gonna have to work on that. It's got to be like you're just spraying bullets. It's a shotgun. You're just spraying bullets and just massive amounts of bullets heading towards them. It opens up and that's how you kill somebody. It's all about how fast you can reload and shoot this gun. Otherwise, if you can't get it down, I would switch to the M10 that you can just hold down. But when you peek here, you kind of can't see it. You're peeking, but you're not even peeking. You're just holding on to this. Your feet are out here. You can't see it here, but your feet like take this wide stance when you peek, and you can, and even though you reach over or you lean over with your face, it moves your whole body. So your whole body is exposed. The half of your body is exposed, and so it's just you're just an easy target, and you're not really doing anything by holding on except for making it more difficult to reload. That left hand should be out here, floating in the air right in front of your gun, so that you're ready to flip and reload, flip and reload, flip and reload. You know, it should be just rapid firing him. And even more so, maybe even you can make an argument for when he shot at you to build here, come back, maybe do the peak that you wanted to for 2 shots, and then or close the ground, just like literally fly at him, because the closer you are with the DT, the more you're going to get that damage. And he's out here with, I think, just a SMG of some kind. He doesn't even have a shotgun out. So the closer you are, the more damage you're doing. And the harder it is for him to like spray and pray and hit you. So sometimes even I try to even close that gap so I can make sure I'm getting my 96s on him, you know, center of his fucking body. But that doesn't happen here. And this reload is just so slow because you're holding on to work this peak, because you actually get 194, I think, in there, but the other one was not great. So that's kind of what happens there. And he got you with the P90. So a pretty good gun though. But again, the closer you are with the shotgun, the more you're going to get those 96s. And look at, I mean, if you got 2 96s, I don't know, man, it could have been close, you know, especially if you tally up all of that where you build, you're able to grab the 50 pod, and then you don't even run from him. You just jump over the build and start pop, 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 pop. And that might have ended different. But that's game 1. Nobody listened to you. and you spent a lot of time. A lot of your effort was in trying to be in the right spot, and you didn't loot up, and you ran out of weapons or bullets and stuff like that. But that's kind of how that one went. But some good ideas again. Some positive stuff was you putting some builds up on the top. Yeah, and the rotation, it's not terrible. But look at these teams right here. See, they all moved in behind you. So yeah, that's what we're gonna learn from that. Okay, I'm gonna pause this and we'll go to game 2.